the hustle and bustle of Manchester, thousands of people rely on the vast public transport system to get them to and from their destinations. But is it truly reliable? Is there another place that possibly does it better? In the first episode of Mind the Gap Public Transport in the North, we will explore Manchester's transport system and find out how it is running today and ask Manchester's passengers what they think. Known for its newest addition to the transport network, the B Network, Manchester has thousands of ways to get you from A to B, from buses to trains to trams. Manchester has one of the largest transport systems in the UK, but does bigger mean better? I spoke to a Manchester passenger who told me her experience.
If I do come to Manchester, it's it's free train. Yeah. When I've been on it, it has been busy. So we came up yesterday and we couldn't sit down. Our train from Sheffield to Manchester was delayed today, but it's usually okay.
Manchester has over 12,000 bus stops, 99 tram stops, and just over 100 train stations. In 2023, Manchester's buses had an annual ridership of 145.8 million passengers. It is home to the Museum of Transport, where transport historian Paul Williams works, and told me about Manchester's history with transport.
The museum tells the story of road public transport in Greater Manchester, which is basically buses. And Greater Manchester has a very unusually interesting and varied history in bus transport, which is why the museum has such a story to tell. The UK's first bus was run not in London, but in Salford in 1824, when a toll keeper called John Greenwood saw people walking from his toll bar to Manchester and set up a bus service for those people. And what he was doing, he was capitalising on the very beginnings of commuting. And ever since then, Manchester's had an amazingly varied tapestry of transport, right up to the current day with the new B network. And so the museum tells that story over the past 200 years. Transport has always evolved. It responds to customer needs, it responds to technology. And so buses and other transport around Greater Manchester have done exactly the same. The first buses were horse-drawn, and they were little more than carts, if the truth be known. Gradually they improved, upstairs was added. At first that was accessible via a ladder, believe it or not. Stairs only came later. Then there came trams, because they gave a smoother ride and you needed less power to move them along than along a cobbled road. They were electrified. Buses came along, that buses got better after the First World War, and gradually replaced those trams. Trolley buses, which are basically electric buses that take their power from wires over the roads, came and then went. And in terms of the organisation, over the past 200 years, it's gone from private enterprise to mainly local authorities to a big conglomerate, corporate conglomerate owned by the local authorities, to privatisation, deregulation, and now what we see in the past year or two is re-regulation and franchising to bring buses further back towards public rather than private control. It's been a hugely changing story.
As you can see, transport in Manchester has evolved over the years, and it still has its flaws. In episode 2 of Mind the Gap Public Transport in the North, we will explore the small coastal town of Blackpool and see how it compares to Manchester with its transport. I'm Stokes, Manchester.